It's bright and early Saturday morning and we're gonna go look at a car. We're gonna be taking our brand new Tesla Rio. Luxury. This car has now been out on a recall since September, and unfortunately we have the pleasure of keeping it in our front yard. We actually have to cycle these out occasionally with another vehicle, our Hyundai Elantra.
We have them, one at my sister's, one at my dad's, and then one here.
Hyundai Sonata and a Tucson, yeah. So we've been rotating these to try to keep the batteries fresh and maintenance all good on these vehicles, but truthfully, they no longer get driven all that often.
Thank you for choosing scooters. What can I get you?
Yeah, can I get 2 large black coffees, please?
All right, anything else?
If you can just make those with love, that'll be it. Fancy.
Card. This is fancy.
Looks like me after I drink coffee.
Uncanny.
Today we're looking at a 2012 Fiat 500. It's listed for $4,500, but the seller said he would take $4,000. It has about 120,000 miles, and the interior of this car is extremely nice, which is really what sold me on the vehicle.
This is one of those cars that truthfully I have never wanted. Aubrey's kind of pushed me here or there, but I always say you gotta go with what you know. But what we know is a lot of the cars that we really like are really hard to find, and these are so plentiful and alarmingly cheap.
Now we got to the car and we pretty much immediately knew that we probably wouldn't be buying this vehicle. While the exterior looked great, the interior was in rough shape. The leather was cracking in different areas, miscellaneous trim pieces were broken or not fitting or working correctly, and truthfully, those sort of minor problems that compound on one another, those are the hardest types of issues to fix. So we ended up passing on the vehicle altogether.
We didn't end up buying yesterday's vehicle, well, for a few reasons. One, the car was actually very worn out, a little more than regular use. There's a massive tear on the driver's side seat, and honestly, that was due to the fact of just...
Mazda's going.
That was our Mazda. Bye, Mazda! The driver's side seat was really badly torn, and because it was a lounge edition and it had this special interior, it's kind of hard to come across that specific seat for cheap. And even looking through several salvage yards in the area, there wasn't one for at least 500 miles that we were looking at, so there's no point in trying to buy a car that's gonna have a ripped seat and we won't be able to fix it.
It's really unfortunate because the interior was so nice, and had it been in good condition, I think that it would have been really, really great.
And it was like a King Ranch edition on the inside.
It looked like one.
Number 2 was going to be just like weird interior bits wouldn't work. That same driver's side seat, it wouldn't actuate with the rear little latch to get in the back seat, even though the back seat was incredibly small. Way smaller than honestly our, what is it? Our Yaris.
Yeah, closer to the IQ.
Yeah, the IQ backseat room, but it maybe had a little more trunk room than the IQ, so there's the trade-off. And it's weird because in Fiats, the handle to adjust the rear reclining position is on the right side. I couldn't figure that out just being in the car for about 5 minutes, and imagine getting a renter who doesn't know what's going on and is trying to use that broken handle. That's a no-go. And truthfully, even though it's a Fiat, there's nothing mechanically wrong that I could see with it. Everything drove fine. It drove like a small, tiny European car. Not really that many issues on the mechanical side, but a lot of little interior stuff or things that really can't be remedied easily, or even just small worn out pieces can cause you to walk away from a deal. And today we're gonna be looking at another vehicle since that one was a dud, and I'm bringing along with me my Mac Daddy scanner because this one is a bit of a fixer-upper.
Now the car that we're looking at today is a 2012 Mazda 3 with 122,000 miles. We already have 2 other Mazda 3s in our fleet, and so we know that these cars perform extremely well. But the big difference about this one that we're looking at today is the transmission is bad. It's stated very clearly in the vehicle listing for this car that the transmission needed to be replaced and that this was on sale as a mechanic special. And so given the fact that it was an extremely cheap price and based off of the photos, it looked like a very, very clean car, we decided that we wanted to go check it out. And after HP did his due diligence, he took out his scanner and made sure he learned as much about the car as he could, we decided that this was a worthwhile purchase.
Never have I ever bought a car that doesn't drive. I've never not bought a car that I can't take on a test drive. So this is kind of a little unnerving, but honestly, the guy already knows what the issue is. It just has the wrong trans, it has the wrong TCM that goes for the trans, so the car won't drive correctly. And he bought this hoping that he was able to just do what essentially I thought I was going to be able to do, is put a new TCM in there. But going into this, I figured if it needs a whole transmission in the worst case scenario, we're in pretty good shape. So this deal is done at $2,000. So we're going to head out, let the tow truck driver do his thing, and hopefully we'll see you back soon today.
And as luck would have it, where we bought the Mazda 2 was on the same side of Dallas as our rental property, which we rent and got leased last year, so we decided to do a drive-by to see how it was looking.
Hey guys, rental house, huh? All right, well, see you later. So it only took 3 hours and the car is finally here at Autobahn. This is the shop that we use for a lot of our work, mainly stuff that I don't have time to do or can't do. So instead of kicking Aubrey's new Tesla out of the garage for like, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks while I figure out how to take a transmission out, I'd rather just give it to them and have them replace it in a matter of a couple of days. First, let's talk about how good of a buy this was at $2,000. As we can tell, premium hubcaps, and it has all 4 of the original hubcaps, which is sometimes hard to find. It does have projector headlights, no fog lights, who needs them? But honestly, going around the car, there's not like really a lot of scratches or dings. A few chips here and there, but that's to be expected from a car from 2012. The only area that's really a little spotty as far as the paintwork goes is the roof and the trunk, which we've actually seen a problem on our silver Mazda 3. So maybe it's something about the gray and silver cars, because the white one is actually pretty immaculate compared to this one.
Honestly, I think exterior-wise, this is our cleanest Mazda 3.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Our white one has a little more dings and dents, but I mean, this thing's pretty good looking. Now, as far as the inside goes, it does have different colored floor mats, but they are the floor mats for this vehicle, which is good. Floor mats that belong to a vehicle usually means that they hook into the carpet, so when people get in, it doesn't just slide underneath the accelerator pedal or anything crazy. But on the inside, a little bit of dog hair here and there. It needs a little bit of a touch up, but the seats are in great condition. There's no major rips or tears, and this is exactly what we look for when we're looking for the interior of a good car. And at $2,000, looks great. What's even funnier though is that all Mazdas typically have this problem, this fading Mazda logo right here where it just chips off. I might have to try to paint that black or wrap it or do something. But also this radio bezel right here where it just lifts up from baking in the sun. Every Mazda we've ever been in has that.
Mazda 3.
Mazda 3. The nice part too, it's a non-smoking car, which is something we also look for. Though a lot of smoker cars can be cleaned out, carpets can be scrubbed and ash vacuumed out, smokers' cars that are religiously smoked in honestly do not come out as good as one that isn't. I was stroking out on that one.
So what's the game plan on getting this car fixed and on the road?
Okay, so we actually have 2 options. We're gonna have Autobahn do a quote about what it's gonna take for just the labor to remove and install transmission. They do offer the same transmission that I can get, but at an increased markup, but they have warranty on top of that. Now, we're gonna get the transmission from eBay seller. It's actually LKQ, which is notorious for having used or even refurbished main components like engines and transmissions. We've used them a number of times. Shipping is either free or fairly cheap for the most part. So hopefully we're gonna get a transmission on our own that comes with its own warranty. That way we can save on the associated upmark of the upmark of the cost for the transmission, and then have Autobahn replace it. Now I'm also going to quote from Firestone as well to see how much it's going to cost for them to do it, and then worst case scenario, I at least have reverse in this vehicle and I can reverse it all the way to Firestone, which is about a mile away.
No, it's like half a mile.
Yeah, I can do that easy.
And what would you say the estimated cost is? Like if we could get it done for this amount, you would be happy. Like what's that goal?
So I'm factoring $1,300 to remove and replace the transmission, $750 or so to go ahead and get the transmission from LKQ. And if everything buttons up nicely and everything works, we're out the door for $2,000. But of course, we'll keep you guys updated with the process of getting this thing fixed. Hopefully we can make this a quick turnaround and get it on a Turo to make some more money. So the stats on this vehicle is that it's a 2012 Mazda 3 with only 122,000 miles on it. And we only bought it for $2,000. So guys, as always, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And we'll see you in the next episode.